Caceres is in.
He's a big boy, standing 210 centimeters. He barely had to jump to get that block.
Yeah, he's an enormous fella.
Full extension of the arms over top of the net there.
And that ball is just kind of dumped over, but it hits the net and kind of squeaks out. So Dominicans will take a 2-0 lead early here in the second set. Contreras still serving. St. Lucia dug up there by Contreras, and Caceres does well. Huge wingspan just to go out and get that one and knock it back into play. A bit of a loose ball, and he made good on it.
Well, even from up at an vantage point, he looks like an albatross when he jumps. He's just so wide, and he's got a large wingspan, and he's got a big hitting box.
Got a bit of confusion here at the scorer's table. Trying to make sure we've got the right rotations and lineups, it looks like. Waiting on the referee's decision, as it's 3-0 Dominican here in the second set.
Also on the Dominican side, Garcia coming out in the P2 position, and David Luis Adame is back in, is slotting in for the Dominican. He's only 20 years old, so a little bit of youth in the lineup. Let's see what he can bring to the table today.
Still working on the decision at the scorer's table, and now we've got it going. Contreras will go back to serve. See if they can keep this momentum rolling as they get the first 3 points of this set. They also got the first 3 points of the first set, but then it was St. Lucia getting the next one. See how this one transpires. On the left side, a good dig there by Contreras to keep it alive. And here's a swing, kept alive for a second there by St. Lucia, but eventually it's Adams who puts it down.
Nice job by Adams there, his first swing of the match, and he goes all or nothing. It's nice to see those guys come in off the bench and insert some energy right into the lineup right away.
Contreras now serving for the Dominicans. It's 4-0. A quick lead. And now we seem to have issues again, but we're okay, it looks like. Scorer's table says we're set to go again with the rotations and the lineups. Contreras serving for the Dominicans. Servin sends it out, and it's just flipped over there by St. Lucia, and they get their first point as Faulkner just tipped it over the block.
Just in the set and 5 points, I'm a big fan of Faulkner. He's a smart player. He knows when to bring the heat and knows when to tip the ball to score. Very dynamic player.
Serving. Here, a big swing off the right side, dug up there by Servin. Gillen is just going to have to bump it over. Now set. And a big swing off the left side, goes off the block and out. As we see Adams with another kill for the Dominicans.
Big haymaking right on the outside there. He's able to put the ball off the block and out the back side of the court.
St. Lucia, Williams comes over the middle. And Frias couldn't quite get that one. And the Dominican Republic now only a 5-2 lead as St. Lucia trying to get back into this one very early. Second set. St. Lucia trailing 1-0 after dropping the first set by 6. And another big swing, but it's just out. As Adams has been swinging hard coming on the floor here in the second set.
What an explosive swing. It looked like he tore the leather off of that ball. It almost looked like Servins touched the ball on the line there, but the ref calls it out.
That one dug up. And they're going to go to the right side. Dug well by St. Lucia, but now they're just sent it over as Julian. And again off the right side. And Caceres, the big man on the Dominican side of the court, finishes that play.
A little bit of a mismatch in height there with that right side from Dominican. Caceres going up against a smaller blocker of Classerent of St. Lucia.
Now Caceres back to serve. 6-3 Dominican. Hard serve. And that's going to go to the Dominican side, and Hernandez is there to shove it right back down. And it's the Dominican Republic up 7-3.
Much better job by the St. Lucian setter there to contest that overpass. I'd like to see him maybe a little bit smarter there and try to goad that middle into taking the ball a little earlier, maybe getting an over the net call.
Caceres now back to serve again. Hard serve. Once again, St. Lucia can't handle it, and Caceres puts the Dominican Republic into the first technical timeout, up 8-3. We're going to take a real brief break here. You're watching the Norseca Mets.
Looks like he just overswung on that ball and just unlucky to get his hand on top of the tape there.
That was Clarescent. Caceres back serving again. Now it's 9-3. The Dominicans opening up a 6-point lead with Caceres at his hard serve, bringing them the advantage, and another block by the Dominicans. Their 7th of the contest. And Caceres' serving run continues. 10-3 now. Caceres serving. St. Lucia goes over the middle. Julian, but it's Doug. Caceres on the right side. And no one is back there as it goes over the block and finds a huge empty spot in the back corner on the right side.
Well, Caceres is just a giant of a man, standing 6'11" with 11'11" spike touch. It's pretty easy when you're that high.
You betcha. And he's proving himself quite valuable for this team here in the second set. And that one goes into the net. But after a great serving run, you can't blame him on that one, as he was really ripping on the ball for the last few serves and earned Dominicans a number of points.
It just shows how deep that Dominican Republic team is. And he didn't even start the first set with Tapia being in there. He's in the second slot here.
And there's an ace for St. Lucia as Williams manages to handcuff the Dominican Republic. 11-5 here in the second set. Williams back to serve for St. Lucia. And a good eye there by the libero Castillo as he let that one go a few feet beyond the line. Adames back to serve for the Dominican Republic, up 12-5. Seven-point edge here as the Dominicans have opened a lead. Much different kind of set than we saw in the first one, where it was back and forth for the early stages. Gillen, and it's Doug, just chipped over there, and Hernandez hammers on it. Back and forth, here we go. And a bit of a miscue there, and a bit of a miscommunication, and St. Lucia will get the point.
Unbelievable defense on the St. Lucian side there. Dominican Republic had about 2 or 3 chances to put the ball down, and they kept digging the ball. And then just a miscommunication there in the middle. Hernandez getting in the way.
Yeah, that's all it was. 12-6 now. St. Lucia trying to battle their way back. But that's 2 serves in a row by St. Lucia that go out the back end.
Well, it's a fine line to walk when you're down 7 points. It's if we put an easy serve, the other team's just going to pass and attack with ease. They need to find that balance, putting in a tough serve, but getting it in.
Hernandez now serving. Servin will send it out to the right side, and a big attack there that goes off hands and out. 13-7 now for the Dominicans.
Well, Faulkner there, very impressive. He started his approach from the end line, a beautiful set by Servin right into the sweet spot. He has some hops, Faulkner there, just jumping to the air, hanging in the air for eternity, and just wiping the ball off the block.
Clarescent back to serve now. Alcantara to Contrera. And he nails it off the St. Lucian player.
A quick shoot set there by the Dominican Republic. There was almost no block there, no contestant for the outside hitter there. Big attack down the line.
Don't want to give space like that to Contreras because he will bury that every time. Alcantara with the serve. Over the middle, Julian just kind of punches it over. Caceres, he finds the floor off the right side. And the Dominicans up by 8.
St. Lucia doesn't seem to have an answer for the new right side coming in there. Caceres, he looks like he's just hitting and blocking at will. He went on a nice 6-point service run earlier in the set as well.
Alcantara serving. Serving goes over the middle, dug up there, and it's just flipped over by Caceres. Here's Clarcent, and he gives St. Lucia their 8th point of the set.
Beautiful out of system pipe set there, and Clarcent just leaping up into the heavens and putting that ball across the body back into position 5.
Julian will now serve for St. Lucia, moves over to the left side. Alcantara puts it into the middle. Williams, that was there for the block, but was not nearly sharp enough as that one goes out. It's 16-8 here at the technical timeout. You're watching men's volleyball from the Norseca Championships at the length.
Dominating spikes, some big blocks, and he went on a nice service run, and that's the difference in the set today.
Totally. 4 kills for Caceres just in this set alone. That one goes out to the right side and just goes out. Contreras just avoided that one as he realized at the last second it was going to go out.
Signaling to his setter that that was his bad. It was a good set. He just needs to hit on top of that ball and curve the ball down into the line.
Ball goes out. Clarcent puts it in just barely. From this vantage point, it nearly looked like it was going out, but he managed to find the line on the right side. As you see here, he cranks it cross court and just gets that edge. Alcantara. Caceres. And that one goes out as St. Lucia gets a couple points in a row. Now 17-10. Back to serve. Serving. Caceres on the right side, and once again, no answer for the big number 11 from the Dominican Republic.
And he's touching 11'11" on his spike touch. The basketball hoop's only 1 inch higher. The top of the backboard's only 1 inch higher, so he's way up there.
He's flying. Back for the Dominicans. Ponciano. He sees his first action. And the Dominican Republic block of Hernandez. And Adames makes good on that one. It's 19-10 as Ponciano goes back to serve again. Short serve just goes over the net. St. Lucia with the backcourt attack. Dug up there by Contreras. And Contreras with a backcourt attack of his own, but that goes into the net. And St. Lucia gets their 11th point. Now Gillen will go back to serve for St. Lucia. An 8-point difference right now after the Dominicans already took the first set. Gillen with the serve. Alcantara goes to Dames.
He's bringing the power again. There's a nice set by the setter. They're number 12. Alcantara running a 51 and a 31. Drawing that middle blocker so that Dames only had 1 block, and he put the ball straight into the ground.
Back serving is Caceres. And that reception comes back onto the Dominican side, and Wilfredo Hernandez once again is there to dump that ball down in a hurry.
There's that difference again in this set. Caceres just going on serving at will.
He's pounding the ball, and we'll have another serve from Caceres, 21-11. That one will turn into an ace as it just flops over the net. And in front of Clarcent. And now St. Lucia down 22-11 will try and slow things down and see if perhaps they can generate a little momentum, as this set is likely out of reach, but moving to the third set, a few points here could help them moving forward.
But just to give the viewers a little comparison of the two right sides playing today, we have on the Dominican
rail by any stretch, and so he comes with a ton of power when he gets up there.
And the word that comes to mind for me when I see him is albatross.
There you go.
747.
22-11 here for the Dominicans. Caceres serving. Clarescent gets it through a three-man block there, and St. Lucia gets a point out of the timeout.
I think one thing that might be helping Caceres on the serve there is you see the Dominican Republic line up on their defensive line. They're totally screening the St. Lucian team. They've got three blockers directly in the lane of the serve, and the back row defenders in the lane as well. So maybe he's giving a little bit of he's taking away a little bit of that blind spot.
Alcantara just dumps that one over. It works out for the Dominicans, surprising St. Lucia a bit there, as no one could scramble to find that one before it hit the floor. And it's 23-12 as Adames goes back to serve. Only 2 points from taking the second set. Hard serve there. Clarescent. And Adames gets to that one. Caceres will set it. Adames just has to kind of punch it over. And Wilfred Hernandez takes advantage of a big miscue there from St. Lucia, as they got an opportunity on a bit of an error on Dominican side, but they couldn't take advantage.
They take a look at how the Dominicans are lining up here. Take a look at the libero. He's standing directly behind the block. He has no business being there.
St. Lucia knocks it over. They go to Caceres, and that one finds the back line just barely, and a fitting end to an impressive set from Caceres, as he gets 6 kills in the second set alone. And now the Dominicans are up 2-0 after winning 25-12 here in the second set. Back to serve. Servin. Alcantara. Caceres. And he misses on that one. St. Lucia gets the first point. Unlike the first two sets when the Dominicans scored the first 3 points at least, St. Lucia gets on the board first. Contrera, and a big block from St. Lucia, and that gets the St. Lucians pumped.
Number 10, Julian, rising to the heavens, getting a big block and bringing the energy towards his team. That's exactly what the St. Lucian team needs right now, an infusion of energy.
Servin. And Hernandez hits that a couple times. He was unable to get it over. Caceres going over to chat with the umpire. Umpire having none of that. And it's 3-0.
It looked like the St. Lucian middle block there touched the ball off of Hernandez's attack. He's trying to get some clarification now. He's under the impression that he hit the ball into the middle blocker's hands, which allows him to then play the second ball, but the ref's calling him on 2 touches.
Yeah, from my vantage point, it looked like it just kind of hit the net. It wasn't a good hit there from Hernandez, and I don't think he got it over. I don't see St. Lucia touch it. I thought the ref called it right, but perhaps not. But it will be 3-0 here. Caceres rolls it over, but it goes out, and St. Lucia off to a quick 4-0 start.
I'm not too sure what Caceres is thinking on that outside right now. He's got a much shorter blocker in front of him. He's the 11-inch difference. He's just got to take that ball high and hard down the line, and he'll score no problem. Servin.
Alcantara goes to Caceres again. That one's blocked. Now they'll move over to the left side. It's rolled over. And Adames has to be quick on that one. It's dug up there and sent over. But it was a double touch there. And so the Dominican Republic will get their first point.
St. Lucia getting lucky there. Looked like the Dominican Republic setter. Alcantara came under the net after he made contact with that set. Lucky break there.
Back to serve now, Contrera for the Dominican Republic. As once again we're at the scorer's table trying to make sure everything is set. It's 4-1 for St. Lucia early on as Caceres hasn't had his will with the St. Lucian team yet so far.
I like the energy that the St. Lucians are coming out with right now. One thing we talked about in the earlier match was not just celebrating and generating energy off your opponent's errors, but generating that energy off the points that you earn. Those are the ones that is really going to bring you together and help you propel yourself through that set.
Here's Caceres, where he tried to roll it there off the left side, and it went just out. And prior to that, on the replay, you saw a big block by St. Lucia that really gave them some early momentum. Two teams here trying to get into that quarterfinal spot. Winner will play on Thursday in the quarterfinals, hoping to get into the semifinals, which go Friday. The loser, meanwhile, will play in the 7th place classification round Thursday and Friday potentially. Make sure to stay tuned here on LangleyEventCenter.com, or even better if you can make it out to the event center here in Langley for Canada and Mexico. That game set to begin at 8 o'clock Pacific time here from Langley. And that game will see two teams that both beat Guatemala in Pool C, both beat Guatemala in 3 sets. And those teams will battle out to see who can win Pool C.
Still a little confusion down in the court there. The St. Lucians are trying to figure out what rotation they're in. They're on one page while the umpire's on another, and they're trying to fix the rotation so they can get this game going again. Might be a good break for them to lull the Dominicans into a little bit of a sleep.
Although they did have a bit of momentum, and they are up 4-1 rather. And see where we go from here. At the very least, St. Lucia would like to send this further than the 3-set minimum. If they're able to do that, they would get themselves into the second classification game and avoid that first one, which goes tomorrow. Would go directly into that 7th place game on Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific. Bahamas and Guatemala already on that 7th place classification bracket. And we got things sorted. Contreras to serve. And he gets the ace as it finds the back line.
Impressive serve there, especially after a long 3-minute break, able to come in and crack that ball down the seam, scoring the ace.
4-2 now, the Dominicans trying to get back into it. Contreras. He takes a little off it and a little too much as it goes into the net. 5-2 for St. Lucia. And Gillen will go back to serve. St. Lucia down by 2 sets, but with a 3-point lead here in the third. That ball saved there by Alcantara, and Hernandez puts it away. A good play by the Dominican setter to recover that one.
Beautiful one-hand set there. The St. Lucian blockers did well to respect that he could get that one-hand set, but just failed to react in time.
So Hernandez, after getting the kill over the middle, goes back to serve. Serving. Octave off the net, and it's Hernandez and Adames and Contreras. Goes off the block. Servin moves it out to Clairsent. Adames blocked there by Williams and Faulkner.
Faulkner showing his excitement there. Like I said, one of the shortest players on the court at 6 feet only, getting a big roof block there on the outside.
More than makes up for his height in enthusiasm, however. And he'll go back. He went back to get the ball, at least for Williams. St. Lucia figuring it out here. Up 6-3. Adames just rolls that one over as the block was ahead of the game, and he saw that and took full advantage.
Dames using his brain there. He had brought the heat in the first couple sets, just thumping on balls. And then that last one, he had the defenders waiting on their heels and just rolled the ball short right over top of the block.
Caceres now serving for the Dominican Republic. Serving. Clairsent gets it over, and it finds the floor.
Beautiful overload by the St. Lucian setter, serving there. Ran the middle on the 31 set, shot the ball right to the outside, creating that inside seam for the outside hitter, and he was able to put the ball down on the seam.
Clairsent with the point, now Faulkner with the serve. Goes over the net just barely. Comes to Adames, and he just kind of has to chip it over. Now they go to Clairsent again, and Adames, all he could do was get one limb on it, and it flies out, and St. Lucia gets their 8th point of the set here and there. You can catch all that action right here on LangleyEventsCenter.com. That one's dumped over. Alcantara manages to keep it alive. Caceres chips it over. Servin gets to that. St. Lucia scrambling, and Julian sent it long.
Some miscommunication there between the libero, the middle, and the outside. Who's going to take that second ball? Usually the back row or the front row middle should take that if the setter's out of the rotation there.
Adames to serve. Clairson, and he finds the court. As you say, a big addition and a spark to the St. Lucian side.
And I like how Servin's going back to him time after time. He's hot. That's the hot hand you need to feed right now. He's getting all the points.
9-5 here, St. Lucia. Third set. Clairsent, hard serve. Adames has to go down to get that one. Caceres, and Clairsent does a bit of a limbo to avoid that one, and the ball goes long, and it's 10-5 St. Lucia.
Caceres kind of disappearing here. He's making a few errors, and I think that's the difference in this set. He's not imposing his will anymore.
Doesn't have a kill so far in this set. Hard serve from Clairsent. Contrera, though, puts it away with authority.
Looked like the St. Lucian block had a solid two-man block up there, but there was a little bit of a seam inside of the two blockers, and the hitter able to squeeze that right through on a straight-down angle.
Capachano in for the Dominicans and serving. But his serve goes out the back end. And he'll go back to the bench. And it's 11-6 for St. Lucia. Julian serving. Float serve goes out, as well as the team trade serving errors. Alcantara to serve. Serving goes to the left side. Castillo got his hands to it. Contrera sees a three-man block and puts it off the hands and out for a Dominican point.
Contrera with the big kill off the side and a little bit of a stare down through the net. I like that swagger he's bringing into the match.
The Dominicans closing the gap, now 3 points at 11-8. Servin has to dive just to keep that one alive. Contrera on the left side, and he finds the floor. And Dominicans make it a 2-point game now, 11-9, as they're on a bit of a run. And not surprisingly, St. Lucia takes a timeout, trying to slow this game down after they initially had a 10-5 lead, and now it's just a 2-point edge.
The Dominicans doing a little bit of what St. Lucia was doing. Setter Alcantara is setting the hot hand. Contrera, he has the two big kills coming off that, and we'll see if he can maintain that level and bring this back to a tied set.
So it's Alcantara back to serve. It's 11-9 for St. Lucia, but the Dominicans on a bit of a run. On the right side, goes off hands. Adames gets to it. They'll go to Contrera. Three-man block from St. Lucia. Servin. Clairsent over the middle. Dug up by Castillo. Alcantara gives it to Hernandez, but Hernandez kind of whiffs on his attempt. And St. Lucia gets the point.
That rally, just a battle of the outsides. Claircent against Contreras there.
Back to serve for St. Lucia. Serving. Now Contreras! And he finds the floor off the right side.
Contreras just so dynamic and explosive. He gets into the air, cocks that arm right back, and it's just like a whip, just ba-boom.
10 kills now for Contreras. It seems like when he wants to put it away, there's little St. Lucia can do to stop him. And now he'll serve hard. Claircent decides to just push it over. Adames going against two blockers, and he just finds the pot in the middle. And it's 12-11.
I like that arm swing on Adames. He brought the arm back like he's going to hit hard. A little head fake. Held the blockers, held the defenders, and then just rolled shot nice right over top of the block. Very smart play on his part.
Dominican Republic down just by 1 point. Serving goes to the right side, and Gillen is stuffed.
One-on-one block. Gillen's going to be thinking about that one tonight. You should never get blocked on a one-on-one block like that. I mean, your setter does a good job to get you the one. You got to hit that angle and or use the hands and score.
So it's 12-12. The Dominican Republic battling all the way back. Down by 5 at 1 point early in this set. That one goes off the block. Kept alive. Alcantara goes to Contreras. And another kill by number 3 for the Dominican Republic.
The Contreras show right now. He's gotten about 5 of the last 6 kills on his team. His setter's trusting him to put the ball down. And he's using just the outsides, Contreras and Adames right now.
13-12 now, Dominican Republic. St. Lucia needs to do something to curb the bleeding. Servant sets it to Claircent, not surprisingly. That goes off the hands of Alcantara. And when they've really needed to dig deep and get a point, it's been Claircent they've gone to here in this third set.
And just shows the trust between Servant and Contreras there because, or Claircent, excuse me. As he's in the back row, there's 3 players in the front row, and he's choosing that A-ball back set, and he's putting the ball down from the back row.
Serving for St. Lucia. Hernandez puts it over. Serving. Goes to Claircent. Goes off the block and finds the floor on St. Lucia's side. As the Dominicans go ahead again now, 14-13.
Hernandez and Caceres teaming up for the double block on the outside there. I think it's the first block for the Dominicans in this set, and a timely block at 14-13 now.
Hernandez with the serve. Serving gives it to Claircent, who rolls it over. Alcantara goes to Contreras, and again, there's a back row attack from Contreras.
The back row bomb, we could hear the echo from up for our vantage point. Contreras just unloading on that ball. They might need to switch that ball out and check it for a warp.
15-13. The Dominican Republic has really come on here. Hernandez with the serve, and it just goes out. St. Lucia, fortunate that was about a foot long. 15-14 now. And Williams serving for St. Lucia. And it comes to St. Lucia's side, and no mistake there from Claircent as he buries it.
Goes to show the level of IQ that Claircent has. He could have put that ball straight down. Instead, he hits the ball at a sharp angle where the diggers aren't.
And an ace there from Williams as Castillo struggled with that serve. And suddenly, St. Lucia.
So high and has such a good wrist turn on the ball.
Caceres now to serve. Serving, puts out to Claircent. And that one goes off the hands of Contreras. Castillo tried to scramble to get to it, but couldn't quite get there. And St. Lucia goes up 17-6 as we see a substitution here. Coming in, Kaji Charles. Shirt name is Kaji. He takes out Faulkner. Alcantara to Caceres, who just chips it over. Julian has to scramble to get that one. Clareson tried to put something on it, gave Caceres a little bit of trouble, and Adames can't get to it and can't put it over. And St. Lucia goes up by 2.
Looked like number 10, Julian, there, clipped the top of the net. Caceres asking the ref to review that, and the ref says no.
Back to serve now for St. Lucia. It's Kadji. Caceres. And the block was late. And you don't want to do that against Caceres. 18-17.
His first clean kill of the set. Looks like the St. Lucians will hope that he won't heat up here in the latter portions of the set.
Faulkner comes back in for St. Lucia. Adames back to serve for the Dominican Republic. It's 18-17 St. Lucia, and that one goes out the back end. And a serving error there by the Dominican Republic. And we're going to see Clareson go back. But before we see that, we're going to get a timeout for the Dominican Republic. Results in set point for the Dominicans.
Not too sure what Claircent was doing there, trying to take that second ball away from the setter. He's most likely getting that set, so he needs to move out of the way.
24-22. The Dominicans looking at match point. Over the middle, goes off the hand of Contreras and way into the 5th row here at the Langley Event Center. 24-23, and we've got a timeout on the Dominican side. Coach for the Dominican Republic doesn't want this game to get back to 24-24.
Also maybe looking to take some momentum away there, give the server something to think about. We call this the high school timeout.
For the Dominican Republic, Gillen to serve. And that one goes right out the back end, and you pretty much called it there, Wes, as we'll give that point to the Dominican coach, like you say, and it's 25-23. The Dominican Republic knocks off St. Lucia in straight sets, winning 25-19, 25-12, 25-23.
Not to take anything away from both teams, but a little bit of a sloppy play near the end of the set. But like I said, the teams came out explosive. They had some high-flying, hard bangers on the team. St. Lucia not going down without a fight. They gave it everything they had.